Hello, we're the DeBusks, and I want to say welcome to our solar house. Our house is a little different from a lot of the houses you'll see on the tour. We don't actually have photovoltaics. Ours is one of the passive solar houses. I don't think we're the only passive solar on the tour, but we're one of them. So these are our solar panels. These windows on the south side of the house provide heat in the winter, and the idea is with the big overhangs, and you see we have an overhang at the top plus these eyebrow style overhangs lower. They shade the windows in the summer on days like today to keep the solar heat out of the windows. This side of the house has large windows, which gives us that winter heat and also gives us a beautiful view year round. The rest of the house has much more muted windows. And I guess if you would like to come inside, we'll go inside and have a look around. Well, come on inside. I guess as you saw when you walked around the north side there, that there are definitely fewer and smaller windows. Definitely fewer and smaller windows on our north side. Don't mind the kittens. When you come into our house, you come into what's called the Arctic entry. Arctic entry is on the north side of the house. It's where we can come in, and in the wintertime we can come in and knock the snow off of our shoes and that kind of thing. Having this space a little less conditioned and isolated as kind of an airlock helps preserve some of the warmth that's inside the house. So coming into the house, you have to come through a second doorway. This is our living room, and this is where the desirable side effect of the passive solar house becomes apparent, where we've got these great big windows with our very large and very pleasing southern view. Another older form of solar heat, we have our old wood stove here with lots of land and lots of trees. The trees are like our little solar panels that collect solar radiation all year long, and we can cut up the ones that are in the wrong place or that fall over on their own and burn them for a sustainable heat source to supplement the solar heat source. Well, shall we go upstairs? The second story of our house is like the first. It has the very large south-facing windows so that we can gather heat in the wintertime with the overhangs that keep the sunlight out this time of year. You can see it's just at the end of August right now, and you can see there's just a little sliver of sunlight starting to come through the windows at this point. Just a few weeks ago, no sunlight at all came through the windows. And by the time we get to the winter solstice, the sunlight will come all the way across the floor. Another feature that we have upstairs for the passive solar is the very high ceilings. The high ceilings provide a sink of sorts, a reservoir for hot air that builds up in the house during the day that we don't have to live in. It's another very old It's another very old form of making houses more comfortable. This is my daughter Jasper. We're in her room right now. Now we're in the baby's room. This is Jasper's baby brother Micah's room, and he's asleep in here, so we'll speak a little more quietly and not linger. This is the master bedroom. Again, we've got the large south-facing window over here on this side. And in here you can it really highlights the contrast between the large south-facing windows and the small energy-efficient windows that face in the other directions. These small windows face to the east, and if you go into our bathroom, this very tiny window faces to the north to minimize heat loss or heat gain through those windows that's not regulated by the overhangs and is on the wrong side of the house. The last feature I want to point out that we have upstairs is our recirculating fan. If you look straight over your head there, you'll see the intake grate for the recirculating fan. That fan draws hot air draws hot air from the house that has built up and pooled at the highest level, and draws it down to the basement where things tend to be a little cooler, which can help even the temperature column from basement to second story. Speaking of the basement, let's go down there real quick. I'll show you the other end of that fan and a couple other features we have. I have to forgive our basement. It's an unfinished basement and it looks like a basement. But down here you can see, again, large south-facing windows. How many people have large south-facing windows in their basements? So obviously it's a daylight basement. Around the sides of the house that are not exposed, we have an ICF style foundation for improved energy efficiency. And here on the south wall, you can see an example of the insulation that we have all throughout the house. This is a closed cell spray foam insulation. It's somewhat effective at actually gluing the walls together and improving the structural rigidity of the house, but it's very good for air sealing and for just energy efficiency in general. And as I promised when we were upstairs, I'm going to show you the other end of that circulation system. So warm air that's pulled from upstairs is brought down here into the mechanical room of our basement. And it's actually dumped right here. So we bring warm air and dump it into the basement at this point, where it can be used to warm up the basement, and it can be harvested by our heat pump style water heater. We have a Ream water heater that actually draws heat from the air, and that feels great on a day like today. That's cold air blowing out of the water heater. Actually harvests heat out of the air and uses it to heat our water instead of just burning electricity to heat our water. We get roughly a 3-to-1 advantage using the heat pump. Well, that's about all there is to show you in our house. I appreciate you coming on the tour, and hope you enjoy your day.